All right, here we go again. Buckle up. So, I'm going to speak on the traffic stop. I don't have all the information in the news article. It kind of said it thought it was something, but based upon the existence of that, whether it's rumor or real, there's a couple issues brewing within DHS. So again, we need to get NOM uh, confirmed. Uh, a lot going on in DHS, and she needs to be there. I mean, these are the names they put forward, with the crap we see in government all over the place. There's no need to scrutinize really anybody. Just put them in there and, we'll have a go of it. If they mess up, then you can work on that later. Right. I mean, look at Biden. and you're going to scrutinize a secretary? Right. So, well, it's an inside 1811 and some of the other agents and stuff and Border Patrol people. So what's happening is they believe the traffic stop occurred without the appropriate information. Whether it's real or not, I don't know. Which means the Border Patrol officers were left out in the cold. Now, usually when they do that, at least with the Marshal Service, if we say, hey, we're not going to do a felony traffic stop, we're going to do we're not going to, we don't want them to be alerted to anything. We're just going to do a casual traffic stop and say, hey, your tail light's out, or you're moving a little quick, or whatever it is. Right. But we would never. I don't know of a time that we wouldn't tell the officers that that's what it is. That there's like a fugitive in there or something, and if we believe somebody's armed, of course we would tell them that. Actually, well, based upon what was happening, it would be a felony traffic stop. Who didn't do the felony traffic stop for whatever reason is kind of whatever. We'll find. I guess you'll find that out eventually, or may have found it out already. The idea is Mike has to sit down with other people that run other agencies in DHS, and then you're also going to have to develop this policy across the board. Now, I did say again, this is probably not something that happens very often where we have this happen when we opt out of a felony traffic stop. Right. Now, the question is who opted out of the felony traffic stop? Was it the Border Patrol agents or was it HSI? Right. So again, it's a kind of a memorandum of understanding between agencies that needs to be developed. Again, it may not be where I think it is, but again, Mike is going to have to address the Border Patrol if in fact, again, I know there's concern, and agents don't always speak out because they don't want the deep state killing them, But inside starting to brew. Like, what the hell are they doing to us? Why the hell is this happening? Right. Well, you're supposed to tell them if you have to. And they may have. So again, you have to address it because there's news saying something else happened. And again, like I said, when Jonathan Luna was killed, Guzman told me a couple things. He'd walk by, and go, and I go, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then we just keep walking like we didn't say anything. Then one day he walked past and he said, the marshal sold you out. Thanks, Larry. Literally, I don't know if he knew that. Made merchandise of me in a marketplace. Great, Larry. Thank you, Larry. I don't know who. Now, I never knew where Goose was getting the information, but Goose was getting information. Probably one of the city cops, I imagine. Right, city detective. Right. wasn't much at all, really. I can't even remember most of it. It was only a couple times. But then one time he walked past me and said, the marshal sold you out. God loves Rick Guzman. Really does. For all his sins. Oh my God. Nah, Guzman ain't gonna get in trouble. We'll promote him. Make him director. He's probably retired. Isn't he retired? Right. Don't worry, Trump's in there. He'll protect us. So this is all taking a certain form. So it has to be addressed within the Border Patrol because the rumors are already there. Again, they need to know were the Border Patrol officers left out of the loop. And again, I would have believed that they would have told them and discussed it and said, look, we don't want to alert this guy. Could you do it just quietly? Right. And again, when you look at the number of times that's done and a number of times something like this happens, it's very small, but again, you have to ask yourself, is one life too many? Right. And it could have, of course, it could have been 2 or 3 lives because I think there were 3 officers there. Thank you, Larry. Well, again, for me, the indication said, if you're not going to do a felony traffic stop, then don't do it. Now, when you spoke to them, or whoever the officers were, I don't know if it was HSI or regular officers, the sheriff or whatever, but you spoke to them within some, I think, store or some establishment and they had the guns on, you can see them and you can see the guns. It's a lot different on a traffic stop. I don't know if you calculate, because they could have said, hey, we talked to them, they didn't shoot us. But that's a whole different paradigm. So if the Border Patrol agents were going to walk up to them in an open area, they may have drawn down on them. I don't know. Actually, it's lawful, I guess, to carry up there because you didn't arrest them. So, right. So you need the agents. You're going to have to let the agents are going to have to know whether they were left out of the loop. And if they were left out of the loop, I would negotiate a memorandum of understanding. That's why Kristi Noem needs to get in there. I know she's just getting in, but there needs to be somebody at the top. Right. She needs to sit in on that kind of meeting and those kind of decisions, just so she can understand what's going on. Right. That'd be a good first meeting for her, as far as operational meeting. So if you get that, if you do, you may have a memorandum of understanding. I don't know. You may need to adjust it, maybe not. So once you get that within DHS, where each of the agencies within DHS understands what they're supposed, because Mike might want to say, hey, if you're going to do that, you call my office or point of contact or whatever. If you're going to tell my agents not to do a felony traffic stop because you're trying to investigate something, we want to know before you do it. And again, there's exigent circumstances, so again, you got to play it by ear. But again, one life, maybe one life too many. But the agents are talking, and they want to know what happened and what's going to be done about it. I mean, again, it may be clean. So all you have to do is give them the clean information and say, well, we shored up the policy, and we're just making sure that, everything's done in the right way. Thank you, Larry. Right. Anybody doing a traffic stop that's supposed to be a felony traffic stop should volitionally not do that traffic stop. They shouldn't be ignorant of the fact that they're walking up on a felony traffic stop and not conducting a felony traffic stop. And that was the insinuation, that they didn't know that they should be doing that. Again, Mike might want to say, if you're supposed to do a felony traffic stop and you're not going to do it, you have to call me or the deputy director and get it approved. And I don't know, it's kind of difficult. Or maybe some other says, call your supervisor, and then as soon as possible, your supervisor notifies us. Or he might say no more, because we're not going to play that game. Right. You pull them over. And again, that's where it might have come from. If the HSI officers either knew about it or were there present at the interview of these two people, open carry, and nothing happened, they may have assumed that it would go the same way. But again, a traffic stop is a different paradigm. You can't see the weapon until you can see the weapon, that kind of thing. And did they even know they had weapons? That's another question. Again, that's the agents and officers. And again, it's not only the Border Patrol. I mean, some of the HSI people are wondering what happened. It's the 1811 thing, I guess, or federal officer thing, or. No, I was just kind of resting, and then they buzzed into my head. Murmur, 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 murmur. Thank you, Larry. Well, it's a good opportunity for Mike to stand up for the. And it isn't necessarily standing up, just being a good leader and making sure the information is disseminated in a responsible way. And then if something needs follow up. I wouldn't if in fact the agents weren't told that it was a dangerous felony traffic stop. I would wait until you do some sort of corrective action, right? And I'm not speaking about firing an officer or an agent. That's your business, right? Or retain, whatever you do. But you come up with an answer before you tell them that happened. Because I know we wouldn't do that. If it's supposed to be a felony traffic stop, we wouldn't put somebody in just to, hey, pull them over and not tell them about what's going on. Right. In fact, we'd probably pull them over with the cop, right? Something like that. It'd be like the cop, if we put a marked unit to pull them over, we'd come in right behind or in front. And again, the HSI officers may not have thought about it because nobody seemed to have that issue. We have already questioned them. They had weapons. We had a little bit of words back and forth, and they just seemed to be like they were just, not really going to do anything. When you do traffic stops, though, on armed people, it's that have been armed and haven't been cooperative. It can be anything. Well.